Yo, YouTube, what is good? Bruv gang, what is good? And we are back with another video. Welcome to another edition of the JRPG Roundup Show here on the channel. So I know I've been gone for a little while. Work's been working, life has been lifing, but hey man, we're back. So we got a little bit of news here for you today, guys. Let's get straight into it with the first piece of news. So, Fantasia to the End of the Wilderness, the Wild Arms spiritual successor. There is a work in press field test gameplay. So big shout out to Gametsu as always. I will leave links down below to any articles that have been read in this video. So Wild Bunch Productions has released a work in progress field test gameplay video of Fantasia to the End of the Wilderness. So the article reads, keep in mind that the terrain and character actions are all in development, and we've left out things like character swaying and shaders, reads the game's latest Feature Friday blog post from the studio. Also, the current lighting is all temporary. The video will look very different from the promotional video we released previously. So Fantasia to the End of Wilderness is currently being funded on Kickstarter alongside Pennyblood. The campaign has already surpassed its initial funding goal, as well as its number of stretch goals when released. Both titles will be available for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PC, and next generation Nintendo hardware, if one is available. So from seeing the field test gameplay here, this actually looks pretty dope. Man. I'm really looking forward to this personally. I'm really looking forward to this. The game looks smooth so far already. I know it's a work in progress already. I would say that the way the characters moving and stuff does remind me a little bit of Xenoblade as well, just that open world feel anyway. But so far, I know this is only early footage, but this looks really good so far, man. Really good. The texture design looks really good. The shadows, of course, looks really cool. And the world as well. I can tell the world's gonna be vast and expansive. So I'm definitely personally, I'm definitely looking forward to this game when it does drop. I know it's gonna be a long way away, but it's really cool to see that they've already got gameplay in place for us to see. Of course, we know that the game will look amazing in the coming years. There'll be so much wholesale changes going on around, but so far, for this just to be like test gameplay basically, this looks really cool, man. And the fact that they've got field test gameplay is pretty dope already. So I can tell this is going to be a really cool game. I'm not too sure the direction of how they're going to go with this game. I know it's going to be turn-based, but I do want to see what else they do decide to bring to the table with this game, because there is a lot going on here. So I'm definitely interested in this. So that is the Fantasia Wild Arms spiritual successor, the field test gameplay, which I will obviously be leaving in the video. You guys will be able to see as background gameplay. So yeah, definitely be on the lookout for that. So let's get into the next piece of news. So Star Ocean: The Divine Force character trailers, Midas, Felgreed, and Nina DeForges. There's some trailers here. There's two trailers, sorry, of both characters. So character in action trailers, both introductions to both characters. So publisher Square Enix and developer Tri-Ace have released a new pair of character trailers for Star Ocean: The Divine Force, introducing Midas, Felgreed, and Nina DeForges. So here is Square Enix's description of each character. Midas Felgreed is one of the most brilliant semiomancers, semiomancers and engineers in all of the Osirian Kingdom. Sorry about any pronunciations, guys, because I do not know how to pronounce half of these things anyway. But although his thirst for knowledge often sees him forego laws and basic ethics, Midas is still a man of strong principle who always finishes what he starts. Nina DeForges is one of the few people in Osiris, one out of the two, who can wield healing magic known as Itramancy. I'll leave the link anyway to the article in the description so you guys can read for yourself anyway, in case I'm butchering anything. Sorry about that. She tirelessly devotes herself to create a cure for the deadly disease and claimed her father's life. So previous character trailers introduced Raymond Lawrence, Laetitia Osiris, Orbed Burcombe, and Elena. So Star Ocean: The Divine Force is due out for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC via Steam on October 27th. So I'm personally looking forward to the Star Ocean game releasing. I know the previous Star Ocean game, I cannot remember the name of the game for the life of me. It was a little bit of a disappointment, but I'm definitely looking forward to this, especially because it is on next gen consoles. The graphics look incredible. We all know Square been in their bag as well recently with the amount of JRPGs that they've been releasing, so that is another one to look out for. I obviously, of course, will be leaving the trailers to both of the character trailers in the video, so you guys can see for yourselves as well. But so far, the character designs and the character models look real cool, man. So I'm really interested about this myself personally. So yeah, that is the Star Ocean: The Divine Force. That is the character trailers that have just come out for the characters Midas, Felgreed, and Nina the Forges. So you guys will be able to check that out. So the next piece of news: Persona 5 Royal on Nintendo Switch. The file size is 12.5 gigabytes. This is massive. I cannot believe the fact that Nintendo were able. This is pretty impressive. This is 3 times smaller than the PS4 version. 3 times smaller than the PS4 version. The PS4 version of Persona 5 Royal was 37 gigabytes, I want to say, which was pretty big. It's pretty big. But of course, that was including things like 4K textures, etc. So yeah, big shout out to my Nintendo news as always. So the article reads: Atlas has revealed the file size for the digital edition of the long-awaited Persona 5 Royal game for Nintendo Switch family of systems. Atlas seemed to have done an impressive job on keeping the file size low despite the length and size of the acclaimed JRPG. So again, like it's exactly like I said, this is pretty impressive for a game that's pretty much, I want to say, 100 and something hours plus long, really, especially with the new added content as well. I believe base Persona was probably around 100 hours, maybe a little bit less than that. But with Royal, I know there's the third semester involved in that game, so there's probably around about 120 plus hours of content, which is crazy. But to cram that all into a 12.5 gigabyte size file, which is incredible. And for me personally, I know of course the game really in truly, in terms of its graphics and stuff, it's not a very graphically demanding game. So in terms of people being the graphic snobs and thinking about the PlayStation version as opposed to the Switch version, for me personally, I don't really see it as a big issue, to be fair. Of course, the PlayStation 4 version, of course, would have different textures and stuff and would obviously look better, which is why the file size would be bigger. But the Switch version being 12.5 gigabytes for a game of this length is pretty impressive. So continuing on with the article, the digital edition will weigh in at 12.5 gigabytes, like I said, though that could obviously change slightly with day one patches, etc. The PlayStation 4 version of Persona 5 Royal is 37.760 gigabytes, but that might include the 4K textures, etc. like I said. For the PlayStation 4 Pro system, Persona 5 Royal launches on Nintendo Switch and Xbox Game Pass on the 21st of October. So again, like I said, this is very impressive, man. Very impressive. Big shout out to Faz as well, Scrambled Faz over on Twitter. I will be leaving the screenshot up on screen. So the anime cutscenes on the PS4 take 1/3 of the game in terms of file size, 12.6 gigabytes. These getting downscaled to 720p definitely saves space, that's pretty impressive from Atlas anyway. Of course, Switch runs at 720p, and I know the main thing with this as well is the portability of being able to play Persona 5 on the go, which is incredible, man. It's incredible. Of course, if you have a Steam Deck, you'll be able to do that, but of course, most people having access to a Nintendo Switch just makes it even better. And of course, for me personally, I know the Switch sales are going to be through the roof, man. Going to be through the roof. I know there's been a few games that have struggled recently because they have not been released on the Switch. I'm looking at you, Soul Hackers 2. I'm not saying struggled in a super bad way, but I want to say if there was a Switch port of Soul Hackers 2, just going off topic real quick, in terms of sales, the game probably would have done better sales wise anyway, mainly because the game didn't do too well sales wise anyway on PlayStation consoles as well. So the article also, of course, reads also accept JP audio, Japanese audio, to be an optional download, otherwise the game probably wouldn't fit on a 16GB card. So this is pretty impressive, man. Very impressive. Me personally, I know when Persona 5 Royal dropped on PS4, I didn't really want to purchase it anyway. I am a big Persona, you guys know anyway, and you guys will see from my channel art and stuff like that. And this is just one thing you know about me. I'm a big Persona fan in general, and Persona 5 is easily my favorite out of the whole series anyway. But Persona 5 Royal, when it first dropped on PS4, I probably wasn't gonna cop it anyway. I didn't really have much incentive to cop it anyway. I know there was a few quality of life changes here and there. Of course, there was the added third semester, but now that the game is on Nintendo Switch, and Nintendo Switch has literally moved into being my favorite console of this generation, really easily, probably one of my favorite consoles ever, probably. I may pick this up. I may pick up Persona 5 Royal day one, mainly just due and down to the portability of the game, and I would love to just sit there, winter time, autumn time, just sit there in my bed and sit back and play the game, and that'll be incredible. So I definitely think I will be picking this up. Probably, maybe not day one. I did say day one, but maybe not day one. I might see how much it may cost. Amazon probably have some cheap deals going on, probably day one most likely. So I will pick it up. And yeah, so that is Persona 5 Royal. The file size is at 12.5GB on the Switch. So if you guys do have a Switch and are looking to purchase this, definitely worth purchasing, man. And if this is your first Persona game as well, especially shout out to Xbox players as well, if this is your first chance to at least try to play a Persona game, definitely give this a try, man. This is one of my favorites in the series, easily one of my favorites in the series. So moving on to the next piece of news. So Xenoblade Chronicles 3 updated to version 1.11. So these are the patch notes for Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So big shout out to my Nintendo news as always. The long-awaited new game in the outstanding RPG series Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is available on Nintendo Switch, and today the game has received a new update, bringing the game to version 1.11. The update brings with it a number of bug fixes, including one instance of a never-ending battle. I'm not too sure what that is about myself. Personally, I want to say I only experienced a few frame drops and things of that nature here and there at certain parts of the game, but for the most part the game ran smooth for me anyway. I do have a Switch OLED as well, so that does help in a little bit of a sense too, but I probably only experienced a little bit of frame drops here and there in certain aspects of the game. But other than that, I didn't really see anything too game changing in that sense. But I haven't heard of this never-ending battle thing. But continuing on with the article, which can't have been fun for those who encountered it. We recently reviewed the game and awarded a 9 out of 10, with our reviewer Nintendo Jam stating that it is his favorite game of the year so far. Check out the patch notes down below. So the patch notes read: these are the general fixes. Change the behavior of Pearlywing Ryuho so that it cannot be defeated if it's located in an area that cannot be reached during intended story progression. Fix an issue where the first battle in Teach's Ascension Quest Shadow of Enmity would not end. I think this was one of the issues that I had. So it's nice to see that they fixed it. I do actually need to go back to Xenoblade Chronicles 3 anyway. I have beat the game personally myself, and I was continuing the game on New Game Plus, just doing a whole lot of side stuff on that front, but I definitely will be going back to it. Continuing on with the patch notes: fix an issue in the quest The Illusion Returns where the battle against the mysterious raiders would not end. Fix an issue where the Goggle, Vuaga and Goggle Dam items required for some Collectopedia cards could not be obtained. Fix an issue where some of the effects of dishes other than the baked spongy spud and fluffed torpedo wrap would not be applied correctly. Fix an issue causing the talent art button not to appear and preventing players from pressing it in certain circumstances. If you have already encountered this issue, you can fix it by loading the save data after updating the game. Fix an issue where the word, I think this is for German, this is for German players, Verkaufen Bekofen. It's been a long time since I've done my German since school, so that's a brush up for me. In the shop menu would overlap with the text right next to it when language is set to German. Various other issues have been fixed in order to improve the gameplay experience. So, just on a side note, I didn't know that the game had a few of these issues anyway. The only thing I want to say that was a problem for me was probably just the frame drops really, and of course that teacher's mission that I did allude to earlier that would not end for me, so I had to just reset my game anyway in the game, and it eventually fixed itself. So it's nice to see that there is a fix for it anyway, and the fact that Monolith have looked into this anyway and come out with these patches already and these fixes. So either way, this doesn't take away from the fact that Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is probably one of the best JRPGs, if not the best JRPG to drop this year. Soul Hackers was on my radar to be one of the best JRPGs to come out this year, but it was pretty much a disappointment. I did finish that game very, very recently, but Xenoblade Chronicles 3 for me is personally my game of the year. Personally my game of the year, an amazing game, which you guys should definitely check out. If you have not checked, you don't need to have played the other two, but it is nice in terms of story. You could play the other two because it does interlink here and there, but you don't need to play the other two games to experience this game in its fullest. So that is Xenoblade Chronicles 3, has been updated to version 1.11, and those are the patch notes for that game. So the last piece of news, any Pokemon Legends Arceus players, which I am, I have not played that game in a little while, but this is from Cerebi.net. Big shout out Cerebi.net. I'll be leaving the screenshot on screen and the article as well in the description. So the Baneful Foxmask Shiny variant is now being distributed through Mystery Gift, so you can get it via the internet. You do not need to have Nintendo Online to get it. You'll be able to get you don't need an online subscription, sorry, to get it. So this runs out until May 31st 2023, so you've got ample amounts of time to collect this if you guys want to. They gave you the Baneful Foxmask. I believe you was able to get within the game anyway. I believe that was just Zoroark. I think it was just Hisuian Zoroark, and it was just a red. It was like a red type of color to it basically. So this is the shiny version of it. It's kind of like a purplish, violetish color. So yeah, that's able for you guys to collect via the Mystery Gift option, so you can get it via the internet on the game. It does not require a Nintendo Switch online subscription, so you guys can go and pick that up, and that runs out until May 31st 2023. So that will do it for the news. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, sub, share if you're new. Let me know what you guys are most excited for. What game you are most excited for that's released in the latter half of the year. And yeah, that will do it from me to you. This has been your bruv, the big bruv, and I'm gonna catch you guys on the next video. I'm out. Peace.